Good afternoon, everyone. JK here. Today is Sunday, January 24th, and on today's episode of Jaguar Consumer, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lovesac company, ticker LOVE. Now, for those that do not know, this is a specialty retailer that designs, manufactures, and sells differentiated furniture comprised of modular couches called sectionals, beanbag chairs called sacks, and accessories such as blankets and pillows. Per the company's last presentation, we can see that 80.7% of net sales come from sectionals, 17% come from sacks, and the other 2% comes from accessories. Now, on Friday in Jaguar Live, a question came in from a client to provide our thoughts on this name. And as I had mentioned, the last time I wrote about this name was in a behind the numbers write up in Weekend Research way back in April. But last month in Conversations on December 7th, I spoke about the name 2 days prior to their earnings report. And, one of the items that we covered was just technically speaking, this stock was setting up for a breakout. And we certainly got that 2 days later on December 9th when it reported their Q3 earnings. Now, technically speaking, we got that breakout and the stock has continued to run. So I would most certainly welcome a healthy pullback in this name before even wanting to step in. But let's go over the company's results really quickly. EPS came in at 16 cents versus a minus 88 cents estimate, so a huge beat there. Revenue came in at 74.7 million versus 66.14 estimate, another beat. Top line growth showed 43.5%. Total comps increased 53.5%. Gross margins expanded by 407 basis points. Now, total sales, according to the company, benefited from a recovery in the company's showroom sales, which happened sooner than they had anticipated. More specifically, showroom sales were up 27.9%, and that was an improvement from a decline of 58.9% in the prior quarter, as some stores were open in some sort of capacity. All 7 Macy's and Best Buy shop-in-shops were open during Q3, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about Best Buy in a moment. Now, if we switch to the company's internet channel, that posted a strong triple-digit growth number, increasing 125.2%. And if we look at their strategy, we can see that back in 2018, 76% of their net sales came from showrooms, while only 18 came from the internet. Well, now fast forward a couple of years later, that has drastically shifted, going to 53% internet to 37% showroom. So a huge change there. Another point on their digital channel is that they highlighted some digital first tactics, such as one-on-one FaceTime product demos, as well as mass viewership Facebook Live events to gauge interest, to get consumers interested in the company and their products. They estimate that they have made over 2 million digital sectional demos over the past 6 months. Now, if we look at the final category, which is quote unquote other, this category declined 8.7%. And that was because there weren't any Costco in-store pop-up shops, but that was to be expected. However, the company did generate revenue from 2 Costco online pop-ups that lasted 4 weeks each, and these were not reflected in the company's outlook. So a small 7.7 million tailwind, and they did comment that they also have a third shop that had been running through early December. Now, one catalyst to keep in mind regarding Costco is that when management said on the conference call that they are continuing to work on a long-term agreement for the Costco business. So that is a potential catalyst, a potential tailwind you want to keep an eye out for. Looking ahead to Q4, management was certainly cautious as they said they do anticipate lower revenue growth relative to Q3. So keep that in mind as well. Now, for Best Buy, I said I was going to come back to this. Management on the call talked about how they recently announced the launch of a new e commerce experience on BestBuy.com, which is designed to help expand brand awareness with a broader audience. Stiefel was out with a note saying that the refresh of Lovesac's e-commerce platform drove higher conversion across mobile and desktop, with the accessory attachment rate increasing from 34% to 40% of purchases. And other improvements included faster load times, a new 3D sectional configurator tool, and the ability to book showroom appointments. So, going forward, we'll keep an eye on this relationship to see how it progresses. And then the last point I want to make is earlier this month, the company did participate at the ICR conference, where management talked about how they've only penetrated just 1% of the upholstered goods category, and they obviously see a long runway for growth with its current product line. They see a large opportunity to capture new buyers as a greater portion of their target market, which includes middle to upper income millennials becoming homeowners and increasing their spending in the category. And lastly, another catalyst that you're going to want to keep an eye on is that the company is going to be launching a major new product sometime early this year in a tangential category in the home. The launch is going to be the first major introduction since Sactionals and will allow Lovesac to compete in a neighboring category in a way that management believes will be impactful. The company also does plan to make product introductions every few years going forward, and will continually launch incremental innovations to expand the SAC and Sactional platforms. So that is going to do it for me today on the Lovesac Company. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one.